guys, Ultimate Toy Collector here at Toy Fair 2016 with the Four Horsemen. I'm here with Eric of the Four Horsemen. Eric, how you doing?
Good.
Nice to see you.
You too.
Guys, the Gothitropolis and the Mythic Legions, they did outstanding numbers. Everybody loved them when the Kickstarter went up last year. I believe it was last year or the year before?
For Mythic Legions, it was this time last year.
It was this time last year. So now we have more figures coming out. If you see right behind me, there's a troll that is absolutely amazing. Eric, can you give us a little rundown of what we got here?
Right here. As I said, this time last year we were running the initial Kickstarter for Mythic Legions. So here we are a year later, and these figures here, this is half of the initial assortment, and these are all production or last approval stage before production. And the package figures up on the wall here, these are actually full production, pulled out of the cases that are ready to send from the factory over to our warehouse. And you know, looking at these here, they really shows off the great job that the factory has done matching the prototypes. The paintwork is impeccable. They look exactly like the prototypes did when we had them out here last year, except now they're in nice, flexible, playable PVC. The articulation works really well on these figures. You know, we had a lot of time to actually go in and troubleshoot with the factory and go with round of revisions, making sure that we got these things absolutely perfect, and they've come through at every step. And here in the center, right in the dead center of the display is one of our two troll figures, which this has definitely been our kind of highlight piece for the show. These are around 13 inches. They're going to be rotocast, but still well articulated, with ball joints in the head, shoulders, and elbows. Cut joints in the wrist, cut joint at the waist, and cut joints at the hips.
And how much will this go for?
We're not 100% sure yet. We're thinking it's going to be somewhere ranging from $80 to $100. It has a lot of paint on it. It's got soft goods on it. It's a large figure. You know, it'll have a large box on it. So as soon as Toy Fair's done, we're sending these immediately over to the factory to get a final pricing on them. And the pre-order for these is hopefully going to be up by the end of the month. And this assortment here, we're not actually 100% sure where these guys are going to fall. They're either going to be a standalone assortment later in the year, or they're going to be part of the next Kickstarter. Just not 100% sure on that, but these were figures that have some new tooling. They've got new heads, some new accessories, tails on the two animal guys. Just an opportunity to flesh out the world a little more and get some more races into the line, and you know, just keep the line interesting and fill in gaps between Kickstarters, so collectors can have fun with this and not lose interest, basically. And then this little assortment of 4 figures here, this is going to be also up for pre-order later this month, and this is kind of our summer wave of figures that we're going to be bringing these to sell at conventions. This guy back here is our little tribute figure. We're bringing him out to PowerCon. That'll be the premiere of that figure. We do want to reiterate that although we're bringing these to the conventions, they're not exclusives. They'll be premiered at the conventions, but they'll be open sale for anybody who's a Mythic Legions collector. We just, you know, we don't want to exclude anybody from getting any of these characters that they want. And then the rest of the figures over on this side, this is the other half of the initial assortment that was offered up in the first Kickstarter. And again, just some great examples of what a wonderful job the factory's done. Some of the characters like the Bog Goblin here and the Zazar back there, there's some complex paint applications with fades and washes and tampo prints, you know, with the markings on the demon, things like that. And you know, again, the factories come through with flying colors, just matching the prototypes every time, and you know, really giving our Kickstarter backers exactly what they, you know, what they backed last year at this time. We really aim to make sure that these figures looked exactly like the prototypes, and you know, as I said, the factory pulled it off.
And this here is another part of the display where we've got our second troll back here, which the initial offering is going to be 2 styles of troll. The 2 different trolls, they each have a different head, they'll have a unique weapon, and they each have their own unique style of loincloth, furry underwear, whatever you want to call it. And of course the paint jobs are completely different on each. And same price point as the other one, and same pre-order time. And the figures surrounding him, these are the Legion Builder figures that were also part of the first Kickstarter. And these were the figures that they have less paint applications on, and they had a considerably lower price than the core assortment figures that are back in the back. And the idea here was that for fans who wanted to build up armies of knights or dwarves or skeletons, by keeping the price down a little bit lower and offering discounts on bulk packs, that, you know, was something that is actually feasible. I think when they were in the Kickstarter, I think we were selling the army builders for around $15 a piece. So they were about half the cost of the regular assortment figures. And you know, as you can see, you can have some fun with these guys. The trolls having his way with the little dwarf there, and they're just as posable and playable as the other ones. As I said, it's just some of the less, or the more ornate paint applications are not on these figures, and it's you know, kind of left to the sculptural detail. And this pedestal here has all of our bird figures that we've got out now. The bottom row here is these are the figures from our first Kickstarter from a few years ago. These are the Gothitropolis wave of birds, and we had a very successful Kickstarter with these guys, and we never would have thought that birds would have been as popular as they were, but people really seem to gravitate toward the characters. So we decided to sculpt up a second round of heads and do a second assortment of birds. And so this is not the entire second series, but a bit of a representation of it. And with the second series of birds, at that point we were deciding we wanted to focus all of our efforts into the Mythic Legions brand. So we switched the second series over under the Mythic Legions banner, and some of the characters, particularly the Aetheron figure up here at the top, directly ties into the Mythic Legions backstory. And one of the things that we did with this second series of the birds, also to tie them further into the Mythic Legions, is we pulled the Mythic Legions accessories directly into the birds. The first series, they all had spear weapons, and now in the second series we've been able to give the weapon choices a little more diversity. So we've got an axe, this is a spear, but a different spear than was in the first series, 2 different types of swords, a dagger, and then up here Aetheron has a very specific sword called the Heavens brand, which ties deeply into the Mythic Legions mythology. So we feel like the second series, aside from just offering up some really cool new species of birds, and some of them even not quite birds, we've got an Archaeopteryx here and a feathered dragon. you know, we were able to take what worked in that first series and you know, give people more of what they liked and some new fun concepts. For any more information that you'd like on these figures or anything else that we do, you can visit sourcehorsemen.com or mythiclegions.com, and our online retail store is storehorsemen.com, and all of our links for Facebook and Instagram are on those sites as well. You know, there's lots of exciting things to come. As I mentioned earlier, the pre-order for the Trolls and the summer assortment are going to be going up later this month. You know, thanks for checking us out. Thanks for checking out the Ultimate Toy Collector, and happy Toy Fair, everyone.